What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Everything Wrestling. And today we will be focusing on WCW Halloween Havoc 1992 and 1993. So sit back, relax, and let us take you down the road of nostalgia. In 1992, Ron Simmons was the WCW World Champion. And during that time, he was basically carrying on a feud with the Barbarian. Now, during that match at Halloween Havoc, it featured the Ron Simmons going against the Barbarian, who had Cactus Jack in his corner. Now, obviously, Ron Simmons will win that match and retain his title when he power slammed Barbarian. But in our picture, we basically want to represent that event with, as you can see, our custom Barbarian, and also you can see Cactus in the background escorting him in. Overall, it was a pretty decent match. We know that Barbarian hard hitting and Ron Simmons, again, another hard hitter, but it wasn't your most technical match. So it's often a match that's often forgotten. But overall, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, yeah, I would give it maybe a 6. In 1992, we would see the introduction of the spin the wheel, make the deal match, which basically was the first time that we would see the wheel with all the gimmick matches on it. So some of the gimmick matches included the barbed wire match, cage match, lumberjack match, first blood match, and obviously the coal miners glove match. Uh, the wheel was comprised of, like I said, a bunch of gimmicks. So the match that was chosen for the main event was the coal miners glove match. Now, for those who are our younger audience, pretty much what the coal miners glove was, it was you had to climb a pole, you grabbed this loaded, quote unquote, loaded glove, and you was able to use it in the match. Now, the coal miners glove dated back to like late 70s, early 80s, and really kind of early 80s. And usually back then, the glove usually had like brass knuckles attached to it or something wrapped on around the fist part. And once you climbed the pole, pretty much you was guaranteed you was gonna knock your opponent out. So in this match, if you look, we go from left to right. We decided to do a mini spread with our figure photography to illustrate this match. So on the left side, as you can see, Sting climbing up to grab the glove. Now we decided to use Kane's glove. So we took a glove from Elite, one of the Elite Kanes, and we used that as our coal miner's glove, which made perfectly because pretty much right size, and it comes with the black glove. If you also notice, our Jake the Snake, we swapped out one of his hands for the glove because you remember back then when he was in WCW and he had the Cobra, he would always put on the glove when he handled the Cobra. So in that first scene, you see Jake with the Cobra in hand, and Sting grabbing the glove. And the next scene, we see when Sting went to kick Jake and the Cobra ended up biting Jake. And then obviously in that final scene, we see Sting get the pin on Jake. Now, overall, that match was pretty good, especially during that time. We had never seen this whole wheel concept. So that was kind of a different niche. And it actually worked for that time because during that time, Jake's character was really on that creepy side, and you expected like the most demonic type stuff from Jake during that time. So it kind of fit that. Now, the execution of the match, because I mean, some things that was in that match, you'd be like, okay, they was kind of pushing it. But for that time, during that time, and for that time, I would give it out of the 10, I would give it a 7 or 7.5 because it was a fun match. Now, for a newer audience, if you notice Halloween Havoc, uh, NXT is now using the spin the wheel concept. So, the wheel lives on, but they use it on an as needed basis. Now it's 1993, and we are moving on to Halloween Havoc 93. And 93 Havoc, we would actually see pretty much two top notch matches during that event. Overall, that event was pretty good from a production standpoint. You had a lot of stars. You had a lot of, I guess I would say the beginning card was kind of mid, so to speak, but the latter part of the card was excellent. And one of the matches that we decided to focus on was the Ric Flair versus Rick Rude match, which during that time it was for the WCW International World Heavyweight title. Now, the reason we saying the international, if you remember, pretty much that international title used to be the big gold, what we know now as the big gold. And obviously I would say go and kind of research it, but pretty much the WCW broke off from the other territories, which the big gold comprised of, and it became the focal point in Japan and WCW, therefore putting the international tag on it. So yeah, so like I said, go research that one a little bit, because again, it was very complex during that time, and it could be looked at as a little confusing. But back to the match between Ric Flair and Rick Rude, it was an excellent match. The champion was Rick Rude, and he fought Flair. Now you got two technical wrestlers, two great wrestlers who were going at it during that match. That's one of those matches that I would tell you, if you haven't seen, definitely go add that to your list to watch, because again, it was hard hitting. And I mean, it was a great match. Now, Rude ended up retaining the belt by disqualification. And I mean, think about it. With those two who were two top tier wrestlers, you really couldn't have a winner and loser come out that match. So the disqualification, I would definitely say, we needed that for that match. But that's definitely a match I would say check out. The main event for Halloween Havoc 93, we would see the spin the wheel concept come back again. The match that was chosen during that time was the Texas Deathmatch. Now, what we know as Texas Deathmatch now has been turned into Falls Count Anywhere, Anything Goes match, Street Fight. I mean, it's been tagged as some of everything. I mean, AEW got the Lights Out match. So basically, Texas Deathmatch during that time was a Anything Goes match, uh, fight to the finish type thing. And when you see two big, rough wrestlers like Big Van Vader, who, if you know the stories of Vader, Vader was he was real stiff. When Vader hit you, you knew you was hit. And of course, Cactus Jack, and we all know how crazy Cactus Jack was. So to put them in an Anything Goes match, pretty much it was a phenomenal match. Now, if you're looking for technical, this ain't the match to watch. But if you're looking for, trying to knock your head off, grab any object you can and wear you out, this was the type of match you need to see. As you can see in our picture, we got Vader walloping Cactus Jack with the chair. And if you go back and look at that match, when Vader hit Cactus with that chair, and that was back when they were doing a lot of headshots, and you just listen to when Vader hit Cactus, sound like a gunshot went off. I mean, it was just like, man, you felt that. And again, one of the contributing factors to the whole concussion protocol and that whole thing. But yeah, it was definitely one of those tough matches. Um, it was also a non-title match because remember Vader was world champion at that time, but this one was more about the fight and less about the title, which made it even better because you weren't looking for, you know, who was going to be champion. Because realistically, we know Cactus didn't need a title. He wasn't really your idea of a world champion. But when you saw him in the match, you knew you was gonna get a fight. It was going to be a fight, and that's exactly what this match was, a fight. And overall, I would definitely tell you this is one that you need to check out. So hopefully, you've enjoyed this walk down nostalgia road uh, as we revisited Halloween Havoc 92 and 93. Again, I just want to say thank you all for the support. Our channel has really grown over the past couple of months, and pretty much stay tuned because we have a lot more coming. Again, Halloween Havoc still has a couple of more episodes coming, and we also have some other series running, such as our Monday Night War series. We got Monday Night, uh, which feature our Raw and Nitro episodes. We got Saturday night's main event coming, which really excited about that one because now that they're bringing it back in December, I think a lot of people will enjoy this one because it will definitely take you down memory lane. And we got some of the other big pay-per-views coming from WCW and WWE, aka WWF. So we hope that you've enjoyed this episode. And as always, like, subscribe, comment, let us know, and share with a friend. But thank you again for watching. And until next time, y'all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you.